This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
What up, Perk, man? How you doing, baby?
Big O, I'm doing good, man. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everything else to you and your listeners here. Or viewers,
Same
I
to
should
you,
say.
my friend.
Yeah.
And let's hope that for an interesting finish here, because they've got two more. And you know, it's funny. We've all had different stances. Like, I'm not a Mike McDaniel guy. I want him gone. Some people want Chris Greer gone. Some people want Ross to sell the team and a whole new regime. Some people want Tua gone. You know what I'm saying? But you are, I think, in the only class in school. I think you're like on detention. You're like by yourself. Right?
As
Because
usual.
I don't think there's anybody in legitimate media. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about media. I don't know of anybody else that says that, no, bring both guys back. I think people have made an opinion on one or the other or both or whatever. You're the only guy. And today was a big moment for them in pretty much helping to seal the deal for them to come back.
Here's what I say is that Greer and McDaniel should be a package deal. Either they both stay or they both go. I think the most popular way that people have is for Greer to go and McDaniel to stay. I think that invites dysfunction, Big O. I think if everybody is here with a GM that doesn't want them, it's going to occur to them very quickly, I'm in a one and done situation. That, like, I'm just here spinning my wheels. This guy is going to get the coach he wants, the quarterback he wants, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, head scout, everything. He's probably going to change out most of the major positions. And so I think that leads to every man for himself mentality. I think that leads to a bunch of independent thinkers becoming butt kissers and yes men. And I don't like that at all. So, look, one thing that we've got to give Greer and McDaniel credit for is the dysfunction is largely gone out of this organization. The dysfunction we saw under Flo and under Gase and under Philbin, where you had Don Aponte saying one thing and Dennis Hickey saying another and Jeff Ireland saying another. It's almost a one-voice approach to Steve Ross. Now, is that a credible voice? Is that a good football voice? It hasn't been so far. I do think that there's potential if these guys commit to making a stylistic change. And what I've said, Big O, is at this point, maybe last week, maybe tomorrow, Steve Ross needs to have Chris Greer come into his office and say, give me your 3-year plan. Give me your blueprint for the future. And Big O, I've said, if the word speed is in there, if I'm Steve Ross, I'm telling Greer to get the hell out of my office, take Mike McDaniel with you, and you can take Tua with you too, because I don't want to hear the word speed. I want to hear muscle, aggression, anger, violence. That's what I want to hear in the 3-year plan.
Well, you got some of that today. You ran for 166 yards. You actually ran the hell out of the football. I picked them to lose this game mainly because I didn't think that they could run the ball. And I thought, you want to win this game, you got to run the ball. I didn't think they would run the ball, and I thought that they would lose this game. So it's nice to see. Again, it's an aberration. It's not a matter of consistency. It's not a matter of culture. It's not in their DNA. It's not, we could use all the adjectives, it's just not who they are. It's not in their disposition. But it's funny. You got to go back. I've talked about this last week. You got to go back to the 70s. The last time the team had balls on defense, on offense, they won both lines of scrimmage, all of that. And they won with a quarterback that wasn't nearly as talented as Marino and Bob Greasy. But they were the kind of team that you needed to win, which is the kind of teams that win now. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I don't understand why for 40 years, even Shula in the Marino era didn't figure it out that he had to win the line of scrimmage. It's the craziest shit in the world, dude. And that's why, yes, I love your aggression thing. I've said that this draft needs to be, we got to go back to our days of rapping. It's got to be about the fat boys.
Yeah, exactly.
About the boys,
Yeah, Go back to the old school, man. And look, one thing that I've always said about this Dolphins team is I do like their fighting spirit. And we saw that tonight, but the fighting spirit is not going to be enough. You've got to have a better strategy, a better philosophy, a better mindset. And that's what I'm talking about with, yes, winning the lines of scrimmage. And Big O, I've said that, look, to me, next year, 3rd and 1 offensively, no jet sweeps. We're lining up and we're running your ass over. Defensively, 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 4, we don't need to dial up some blitz. We're controlling the game with our front four. And that's
by the way, it's not so bad, Perk, too, because think about this. If you have Paul and you have Jackson coming back, you have your tackles, you have your center. So you're gonna have an allotment of picks. You could go get a fat guy at guard. And on the D line, you have all the pass rushers coming back, and you have Sealer. Get a fat guy next to Sealer. And then you have your outside backers, and you have one inside backer. Get another son of a bitch in the middle. And that's what this whole draft should be about. The middle of the O-line, the middle of the D-line, and the middle of the linebacking core. That's what should be really taken care of in this draft.
Yeah, get some muscle, get some aggression, get that mindset that you need, Big O. And that's the other thing. Like, if I'm Chris Grier, or let's go higher, if I'm Tom Garfinkel, the president of the team, if I'm Steve Ross, the owner, when I come up with when we sit down and for our draft plan and our free agency plan, again, Big O, the word speed better not be on the list, because you tried the speed thing. It's not going to work. This is a violent, powerful league. You've got the speed that you need. Get some muscle. Get that mindset. Get that mentality. You did good getting Aaron Brewer and Saran Neal and Jonnu Smith, Jordan Brooks. These are guys with that mindset. None of them are going to the Hall of Fame. That's fine. They have that dog mentality that you need. And that's the change that I would like to see with this team. It's not about getting a bunch of Pro Bowl players. It's getting some dudes with that dog mentality. That's what wins in the NFL. That's what wins in December. That's what wins on 3rd down on both sides of the line of scrimmage. It's what Buffalo brought to you, what KC brought to you, what Kansas City, Baltimore, all of these teams. That's how they kick your butt. Match that intensity, get that mindset.
And by the way, speaking of that, your MVP is, I think, set in stone. It's Zach Sealer.
I think it's Sealer also.
He is the guy that imposes that intimidation, the effort, the professionalism, the standard he sets, the example he sets. He is, from top to bottom, the Udonis Haslem of the Miami Dolphins. He is exactly what you want every Miami Dolphin to embody, however they played, except for Tua, to embody the play, to play the game. No, dude, you're a specialist. You're a pastor. It's over. It's over for you. Relax. So everybody else, embody this guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Seriously. I mean, Zach Sealer, dude. God bless.
Look, Big O, I always tweet when Zach Sealer makes a play that this is the dude who makes the big plays for the Dolphins and consistently in big games. It's not Tua. It's not Tyreek. It's not Waddle. It's Zach Sealer. I mean, you remember in the playoff game in Buffalo, the dude had a touchdown. And so it's a 34-31 game. The offense scores 2 touchdowns. Zach Sealer had the other touchdown. Zach Sealer is disruptive. Zach Sealer will come up with sacks, and he'll make tackles for losses, TFLs. He impacts the game in many different ways, and he's a low-key guy, a unsung hero. He's not one of the guys that people around the league know, but if you're a Dolphins fan and if you play in the AFC East, you know who Zach Sealer is. That dude he is a headbanger, Big O, and he is my team MVP over Calais Campbell, over A-Chain, got over 1,000 from scrimmage, over Jonnu Smith. It's to me, it's Zach Sealer.
A-Chain is the close second.
I don't know that A-Chan is a close second, Big O. I'll tell you why. Because I kind of look at Achane hasn't impacted winning enough, and he's got.
That's not his fault, dude. He does everything on offense.
He's had an outstanding season, but I don't think he's a close second to Zach Sealer. Zach Sealer impacts winning more than Devon Achane. And I know you say Achane carries the ball and he scores touchdowns. Dude, Sealer has bailed your ass out of a lot of third downs that nobody else is making the plays.
No, Sealer's my number one.
But I know. I don't think Achane is a close second. I think Jonnu is maybe as close as Achane is.
No.
And Jonnu, they didn't even discover Jonnu till game 4.
That's my point. They didn't play Jonnu in the first month of the season pretty much because, again, it was Mike McDaniel. But Achane has been a dual threat.
He has.
Without Achane, and he's the only consistent player on offense from week 1 till now. The only one. Think about that. There is not one player. Jonnu got consistent because they started using him from week 5 on, basically. But Achane has been an impact, man, God. And I would have never guessed that he would have lasted this long physically.
Yep, stayed healthy. A lot of touches, he's over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. And I think I don't know if he established the single season running back record for receptions tonight, or if he ended up one reception short. But he's had an outstanding season. I can't, that's your opinion. It's definitely not a wrong opinion. It's not like saying Jalen Waddle or anything. It's a good opinion. Yeah, I disagree, but I can't argue it. It's a good opinion with Achane being a close second.
God, I admire the hell out of him. Now the guy, again, excuses about his wrist or whatever. Tyreek, man, he's been dropping balls for 3 years. He's been dropping balls in key moments for 3 years. This is nothing new today. I get it. He wants to keep the whole thing going so he can sue the hell out of the police department in the offseason. I'm not stupid. I know exactly what's happening here and why he's kept this whole charade going on and all that about his wrist. But in the end, the dude by himself was doing his best to kill this game. You know what I'm saying? Just 3 drops, dude. Even the tip, I don't give him a break. If you have elite hands, you make elite catches. Period.
That was a catchable pass. I'm not going to dump on Tyreek like a lot of other fans have. I do still think Tyreek has it. I do. I mean, he's still the best player on this team without a doubt. He's still a future Hall of Famer without a doubt. Now he's got to, finish out his career the right way. I mean, really, the thing. Look, Tyreek does have a bunch of drops, and I've written about that a couple of times. No. Tyreek is the best player on this team, and Jalen Ramsey is the second best player.
No. He right now, Achane is a better football player than Tyreek Hill by miles.
Achane's having a better season. He's not a better football player. He's having a better season. He won't have a better career. In 2 or 3 years, he won't be better than Tyreek, even when Tyreek is 32 or 33.
We're not talking about totality. We know where Tyreek is totality. Right now in 2024, Devon Achane is a better football player for the Miami Dolphins than Tyreek Hill is right now. He makes less mistakes. He shows up on a consistent basis, and he's a two-way threat, something that Tyreek Hill is not on a consistent basis. This kid is a two-way threat every single week. I disagree with you. I understand totality and all that and career, but right second, where we're living in 2024, this season, he's the best football player on the team offensively right now.
I hear you. I think that he's having the best season and he's got the best numbers. If I'm starting an offense, if I'm doing any of that, I'm taking Tyreek over Achane without a doubt, 0 doubt, because everything that this offense is doing, everything that defenses do, remains based on stopping Tyreek. They don't care if Achane has 150 yards from scrimmage in a game because it's not going to lead to victories. It's just not. It's kind of like the run game where they've now got 7 games rushing for over 100 yards. They're 2-5 in those games. he's racking up yards, Big O. But what is this team's record? When last year, Tyreek, you were 8-0 when Tyreek had 100-yard games last year.
Perk, Achane won this game. He just won this game in front of you right now. He just won this game. He
won it, or did Jason Sanders win it with 5 field goals?
He
put it away.
He's the one that gave the field goal position for Jason Sanders. He's the one that just broke open for the game sealing touchdown.
He did. Dude, I will give you that. I will give you that, Big O. But listen, Achane is a quality football player. I'm not saying he's not a quality player. I don't think there's anybody in the NFL that would take Devon Achane over Tyreek Hill on December 22nd, 2024.
No,
ask the executives. I mean, I don't think that anybody would. Achane's having a better season, right? He's having a better season, but the better football player remains Tyreek Hill.
I think one stock is going like this, and I see the other stock going like this. One stock is young and rising. The other stock is old and falling. I think that's what's happening. That's why I'm pretty sure, by the way, Perk, anybody outside of me in the media said do not pay Tyreek. Do you know any of your coworkers out there? Anybody?
I said don't pay Tyreek.
Oh,
don't
you said?
Extend. Yes, don't extend McDaniel. Don't extend Tua.
I know.
Waddle was the only one. Waddle was the only one. I wasn't for paying Tyreek. I wasn't for extending Tyreek.
Then you're with then. Yeah. That's the mistake, because you could have gotten out of that deal right here, right now at the end of the
season. I don't want to get out of the Tyreek deal. I mean, I know we differ on that. I don't want to. No, I didn't before the extension. I didn't. What I said was I wouldn't extend Tua because if things go south in 2024, I'm taking the broom to all 3 of them: Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel, and Tua. All of them going out the door. And they messed up. They locked in all these guys. And so now you're financially married to them for at least another year. And that's kind of why I say you might as well let Grier and McDaniel run it back, because they selected these guys. I do think that with a change of mindset, they could still get a good amount of talent out of these guys. You still have playoff talent. I think that after the departures, Teron Armstead, Javon Holland, Jordan Poyer, you'll probably pre-free agency, you'll probably be looking at 6, 7, 8 win team. You go through the draft and free agency, you get up to like maybe a 9 or 10 win team. Maybe you coach them up to a 10 or 11 win team. And you see what happens. I'm not going to sit up here. I know, Big O. I don't coach them up. I'm aware of that phrase, Big O. I know. I'm aware. I caught myself. I'm aware.
Wait. What comedy club are you at this week? Because I'm there.
I am at the. Yes, I will be performing in Miami Gardens at the Baptist Health South Training Facility.
Right. There. First row. I'm there. First row.
Yeah. Well, at least we can laugh about this, Big O. But I do think that they do have a chance to, with a change of mindset, to be a playoff team next year. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, now they can turn it around and get to the AFC Championship. I don't believe that. These guys, to me, Grier and McDaniel would be on a 1-year prove-it contract next year, right? If you don't turn a miracle next year, if you don't win at least 1 playoff game, maybe 2, you're both probably out on your ass.
That's why I say you better make sure that this draft is about the fat guys and stop being the disorderlies.
Yep, the disorderlies. I like that.
All right. One more thing before I let you go. Tell me if I'm reading right into this. Chubb has a deadline of Wednesday. Okay? Mm-hmm. The way I kind of see it, you can't get out of the Jalen Ramsey deal, Waddle, Tyreek, Tua. You just did these deals. Some of them are starting next season, actually. Mm-hmm. They haven't even started. Yep. But the Chubb deal is in the 3rd year now, coming up. So you actually have windows. So since Chop is elevating and playing, you're going to get Phillips back. You've got Kamara. I don't know what you feel about him, whatever. You could get somebody else in free agency. You could bring back Agba, all that kind of stuff. The Chubb thing, if they don't activate him on Wednesday, then that means he's done for the year. Are they doing that to protect him so much, to protect themselves? Because if they put him out there and he re-injures himself, then they're stuck like Chuck also with it. So I don't know how to read into this, but if you don't activate him, I'm going to kind of read that this is the end of Bradley Chubb.
I'm not sure. I think that they want to keep their options open. I'm for playing Chubb just a little bit, just to reward him for the hard work. But I do realize if the dude goes out there and gets hurt, you're screwed. You're screwed. You can't trade him. I don't know what his injury guarantee is. $10 million. I can't remember what his injury guarantee is. But you're screwed. But here's what I think, Big O. If you are going to give this a shot next year, you need to retain as much talent as you can. I'm not convinced that both Chubb and Jalen Phillips are going to reach 100% next year. I think maybe one of them reaches 100. I think the more realistic thing is both of them play at 80% maxed out next year coming off of these injuries. So I want both of them, and I want Chop. And I want those three guys as my pass rush foundation. If Mo Kamara can contribute, if Agba is still around at his advanced age, that's great. But I want Chubb, Phillips, and Chop out there just wrecking game plans for me. How can we control games? I don't want to give away talent. If I'm actually going to go for it and try to win a playoff game next year, I don't want to give away talent like that. Now, Chubb is, I think he's 21 million against the cap or whatever he is. You can still get something for him. I'm not sure you're going to get what you need. And now what do you need? Like maybe a starting defensive lineman or offensive lineman. You're going to get pennies on the dollar.
But that's my point, Perk. You want toughness. You want all those kind of things. You may have to give up something to get, because you can't count on all the draft picks to fill. Like I said, get the guard, get the defensive tackle, get a middle linebacker to really add. If you're going to add toughness to this team, these are some of the things you're going to need, right? And then on top of all of that, how much cap space are you going to have to add any of these in free agency and all that kind of stuff? So maybe you may have to sacrifice something, and there's not a lot of places to get cap space. Chubb is the one that I see that, obviously end up becoming some cap space. That's why I'm very interested to see what happens on Wednesday.
No, I agree. He is your most realistically tradable asset, right? Tua would be your other one, but he's not going. That's out of the question, right? That's out of the question. It is. It is Chubb, and so. Me, from where we sit right now, I would say keep him because you accumulate the talent. But yes, if you want to make this thing right, and you probably will have to give up something to get something meaningful. Chubb is the something that could get you something meaningful in return.
There you go.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, Big O, today I think I'm going to write, what do you make of this victory? It's encouraging, and I like this team's fighting spirit. I like what they showed, but did they show you anything you didn't really know? So, you beat another sub 500 team coming in here. Did you see anything new? But then for the week, I do want to write about the new 3-year blueprint that you need to have for this Dolphins team. If you're Tom Garfinkel and Steve Ross, you've got to, where do you want this team to be at the end of the 2027 season? AFC Championship game, a playoff pick, and then let's work backward from there. If I'm Steve Ross, that's what I'm telling Grier. You get your butt in here. You give me a 3-year plan. I'll decide if it's good enough, if it's credible. That's going to be a major thing in me keeping you around, Chris Grier. So that's one of the things I'll be working on this week. That's a cheery holiday story, right? It's a cheery Christmas story, Big O.
Hey, man, listen, today's cheery. You got to win.
It is.
There was a lot of players individually that did some really impressive things today. I think Chop Robinson, after all the people that gave up on him, All those people have to get back on the bandwagon because the guy has 6 sacks in his rookie season, and he could end up with 7 or 8 sacks here in the next 2 weeks. And that would be a very good rookie season for this young man. So there was a lot of things to
hey, we didn't really hear Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd's names today, did we? Yeah, that was a good thing. That was a good thing. The pass protection, no sacks, complete game, 5 field goals from Jason Sanders. Azukama got a couple of snaps, not meaningful, but he was in there. Wynn is in there. Cam Good is in there. Yeah, it is. I agree with you. It's a happy occasion overall, definitely.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they won, bro. So
yep,
I'm going to follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk, and make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Perk, have a fantastic and blessed week, and Merry Christmas, my friend.
You too, Big O, and to everybody out there, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
You got it. There you go. The Perk Man, baby. And our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report. Give them a ring, 305-433-4843. If you live in Dade or Broward County, no condos, just homes or businesses, call my guy, Eric at EJD Construction, custom home construction, the major home remodeling folks. They are fully insured. You can trust them. I've known them for years and years and years. And that's the beautiful thing. People that you can trust. Call them 305-433-4843.